If you're anything like me, then you've mastered the concept of coming up with fantastic ideas. Ideas that will set your life apart from others. Ideas that will get you to the next level. Ideas that will help you lose weight, going to the gym, starting a new nutrition plan, taking more walks, getting outside more. Ideas that, when we're in the confines of comfort, seem fantastic. But for some reason, when it becomes time to execute, when it's time to go to the gym, when it's time to eat the meal, the idea is easy to shrug off and put off until tomorrow. I spent way too much of my adult life in active addiction, 10 plus years. And in those days, my grandiose ideas were, tomorrow I'll get sober. Today I need to get a couple more pills so I can get some sleep, so I can get well rested, enough for my sobriety journey tomorrow. And what I've learned about myself is even fantastic ideas can make you feel good. But there's a downside when we don't execute. There's a downside when we don't fulfill the obligation of pursuing the goal. And the downside is the feeling of failure that we have because we knew that we wanted to hold ourselves accountable for something greater than what we were already doing, but yet we chose not to. These little choices in our lives are the choices that eventually build our self-confidence. When we come up with a fantastic idea to make a YouTube video, to say something to somebody we care about that we know they need to hear, it might be tough. To exercise more, to eat healthier, to do what's tough. And what we notice when we choose to do the tough things, when we choose to do the tough tasks, when we choose to do the exact opposite of what our brain tells us that it doesn't want to do, we get to feel confident. Part of the depression that came with the addiction was the fact that my brain chemistry was all out of whack because of what I was putting into my body. But a much greater part of the feeling of failure, of the feeling of depression, of the feeling of the anxieties that I felt when I was in active addiction was the fact that I knew I was a slave to the substances that were in my medicine cabinet, to the substances that I felt like I needed in order to get out of bed, that I needed in order to go about my daily activities, that I needed in order to feel like a good enough husband and a good enough father. I was a slave, and a large part of my depression and my anxiety, and a large part of why I couldn't bust out of my slump was the fact that I knew that I wanted to have a better life than I was giving myself. I knew that the people around me could see my struggles, and I knew that I wanted to be a better man for them. But I continued to choose the things that made my mind weak. I continued to allow myself to be a slave to the things that I craved. And the truth was, all along, I wanted to be free of toxicity, and I wanted to be able to get up one day and feel like I've conquered and I have overcame bondage that I have been in. These ideas, these concepts of getting outside more, of exercising more, of eating better, of being more social, of doing what's difficult, of stepping outside of our comfort zone. These concepts will either be the reason for our success or the reason for our failures. And the only one that can make that choice is you.